Alright, so let's get started by preparing our two clips. Click on the second clip because that's the one where we're going to create our freeze frame. First, duplicate it using Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V. After that, right-click on the duplicated layer, go to Time, and select Freeze Frame. This locks that exact frame in place so we can build the effect around it. Next, I count 10 frames backwards from the freeze frame moment. Once I'm 10 frames back, I simply drag the beginning of the duplicated layer to extend it to that point. Then I move back and press Ctrl+Shift+D to cut and remove everything I don't need. To stay organized, I rename this freeze frame layer so I know exactly what I'm working with. Now click on that layer again, because we're going to duplicate it multiple times. The number of duplicates depends on how many freeze frame objects you want in your transition. For this example, I'm making 3 freeze frame layers total, so I duplicate the original freeze layer 2 more times. Now that we've got everything ready, click on your very first duplicated layer and double-click it so it opens as its own layer panel. Grab the pen tool and slowly start masking out your first object. Take your time here, cleaner masks will give you a much nicer final result. Once you finish masking the shape and you notice the edges look a bit rough or too sharp, just press the letter M on your keyboard. This will expand the full mask menu. Here you can adjust mask feather to soften the edges and mask expansion to push the mask slightly outward or inward, depending on what looks best. When you're happy with the first one, repeat the exact same process for your second and third duplicated layer. So once we're done masking all our duplicated layers, we can play it back and you'll clearly see how each freeze frame object blends and overlaps with the very first clip. Now what we're going to do is create a sort of cascading effect with our individual layers, going from the longest layer to the shortest. This sets up the timing for our flash effect. For the clip at the bottom, which has exactly 10 frames, I count 2 frames forward and make a split there. This is where we'll apply the individual effects. For the second layer, I count 7 frames back from the end, delete the remaining portion, then go 2 frames forward and do another split. For the third and final layer, I count 4 frames back, remove the extra footage, then move 2 frames forward and make the split again. This way, each layer lines up perfectly to create that cascading, overlapping flash transition. The final step is to apply the individual effects to our flash layers. The first effect we'll use is glow. For the settings, change the glow threshold to 53, the glow radius to 45, and the glow intensity to 0.3. We'll add another glow effect. This time, set the glow threshold to 46, the glow radius to 100, and the glow intensity to 0.2. The next effect is fill. Here, we'll change the color from red to white. The final effect is fastbox blur, where we'll set the blur radius to 13. Once that's done, select all the effects, copy them, and paste them onto the remaining 2 layers, which are each 2 frames long. And that's it for today's tutorial. The only thing left to do is turn on motion blur for all the freeze frame layers, and we're done. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.